by Mike will score from the second tier, being led to the post by outrider Kathy Hawk. Number 1 is He's a Machine, owned by Robert Barnes of Ann Arbor, Michigan, trained by George Anthrop with Kyle Waiter. With the 2, Hootie Figgins is out sick. Number 3, Stand and Destroy, owned by Steve Kaufman of Arcanum, Ohio, with a Cool Million stable of Dayton, Ohio, trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 4, Scioto Downs, owned by Mullen and Morgan of the Bluegrass State, trained by Glenn Collins with Ryan Goldenhand Stall. The 5 is Cody Wood, owned by Frank Castle of Staffordsville, Kentucky, trained by Jeff Brewer with Scioto Downs leading driver, the Hitman, Brett Miller. Number 6 is Rock's Big Boy, owned by Michelle Omer of Galloway, Ohio, trained by Brad Omer with Aaron Merriman. Number 7, Sable Scooter, owned by Patricia Tatum of Columbus, Ohio, trained by John Tatum with Bob Harper. The 8 is Karen Christ of Middletown, Ohio's WR Little Big Man, trained by Jeff Cornett, Dallas Miller. From the outside of the 9 is N.T. Classy, owned by Stephen Watkins of Sydney, Ohio, trained by Dan McClock, Jim Daly. And for the second tier, number 10, Magic by Mike, owned by James Davis of Lebanon, Ohio, and Andrew King of Waynesville, Ohio, trained by Brandon Piggott with the Grizz, Greg Grismore. Field in motion. Bang, sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. Stand and Destroy is rolled out for command. Up on the outside, Sable, Scooter, and Harper has sent this one on the go. Crossing over to the pylons to take the lead. Next there in 2, Stand and Destroy. Away in 3rd, that is Cody Wood. 4th at the pylons, Rock's Big Boy. 5th from the second tier, that is Magic by Mike. 6th along the inside, Dutchy O'Donnell. Followed there in 7th by WR Little Big Man. 8th is Isn't He Classy. And 9th and trailing the field, He's a Machine. Wheel to the outside. Of the opening quarter came and went in a quick 27 4/5 and marching on by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half. Up top, Sable Scooter and Bob Harper on the point here, leading it by a length and a quarter to the inside. Stand and Destroy right there, nose to helm of that garden spot in 2. On the inside, Cody Wood stayed in from 3rd, sent first over the outside, racing in 4th, Magic by Mike, towing that cover there on the outside, 2nd over in 5th, that is He's a Machine. Inside, racing in 6th there, Rock's Big Boy. They step in front of the paddock and strike the half in 58 4/5. A second quarter, 31 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4. Sable Scooter up top here, leading the way by a length to the outside. A Magic by Mike is racing into it. The leader's wheel disc. Stand and Destroy is watching over these dueling leaders from 3rd. Perfectly placed. 2nd over the outside in 4th. He's a Machine. Buried at the pylons in 5. Cody Wood. 3rd over in 6th. Dutchy O'Donnell. 3/4 in 1:26 3/5. The tempo's been picked up quite dramatically here. And to the outside, a Magic by Mike is now clearing to the front end here. He's a Machine is bearing down to the outside in 2. Stand and Destroy is absolutely locked in here with nowhere to go. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. Magic by Mike to the inside. He's a Machine is coming at him and coming onto the outside. Dutchy O'Donnell as they come to the wire. Magic by Mike. He's a Machine on the outside. He's a Machine gets up to win it here. Magic by Mike to go 2nd. It was close for 3rd at the time of the mile, 1:56 2/5. He's a Machine for 2 in a row here at Scioto Downs. Actually 3 in a row here at Scioto. Time this time in 1:56 2 for the 3rd score in just 8 tries. The 1 He's a Machine, a 7-year-old brown horse by Racing Machine out of a town leader mare, Loretta Later, owned by Robert Barnes of Ann Arbor, Michigan, trained by George Anthrop. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Kyle Waiter. The 1 He's a Machine, 1:56 2, 3 in a row here at Scioto Downs. $0.40, while the 110-4 try is worth $235.60. In print of the post for this afternoon's second race, the final of the Hubidia Trotter 1 mile, a purse at $12,000. Second half of the early double, exact trifecta wagering, a field of 7, no changes. The 1 is Letter Rumble, owned by John Lingacker Jr. of Grable, Indiana, trained by Jonathan Crow with Bob Harper. The 2 is Classic Toy, and with the Silver Linden Farms of Woodburn, Indiana, trained by Danny Collins, Sandy Beatty. The 3 is B Kickin, owned by Millard of Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. McGuire of Ingersoll, Ontario, Canada, trained by the Big T, Terry Tim Holton. Dick Richardson Jr. drives. The 4 is Wallaby Wannabe, owned by Charles Weaver of Pinehurst, North Carolina, trained by William Emerson, Dave Myers. Number 5, Sizzling Kimberly, owned in partnership by Midland Acres Incorporated of Ohio and Brummel of Trenton, New Jersey, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader, the pilot. The 6 is Raphael, owned by Martin at Circleville, Ohio, and Mogan in Lockbourne, Ohio, trained by Scott Mogan with Chip Noble. And for the outside of the 7, Sterling Bridge, and with the Sterling Brook Farms Incorporated of Sheltonville, Massachusetts, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Dallas Miller, and the Sulky. There they go. Break the 3, be kicking before the start. Field in motion. They're all fan trotting in, firing out of their middle of the track. There goes the 5, Sizzling Kimberly, headed out for command here. From the rail, let her rumble. Up on the outside, Raphael. 3 wide to join the fray there. Sterling Bridge is marching on. Away in 5th, Classic Choice. 6 to the pylons, Wallaby, Wannabe. And 7th, and trailing the field and back down trotting here. That's B Kickin' as they trot around the first turn and over to the initial quarter. Up on the outside here, looking to take the lead. That is Raphael. Sizzling Kimberly on the inside of the opening quarter. Came and went in 30 seconds flat. On by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half. And Raphael and Chip Noble is clearing to the point here. Sizzling Kimberly is yielding for that garden spot in 2. Got to the outside in 3rd. That is Sterling Bridge. 4th, that is Let Her Rumble. 5th is Classic Toy. Followed in 6th by Wallaby, Wannabe, and 7th and trailing B Kickin' as they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Up top here from the inside, Raphael is giving the cold shoulder to the outside to Sterling Bridge. And now Sterling Bridge is looking to trot on right on by through a half in 59 and 4. A second quarter at 29 and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. A new leader up top, Sterling Bridge with a lead. Into the inside, Raphael is trotting in 2. Move to the outside in 3rd, Sizzling Kimberly. Second over the outside in 4. That is Classic Toy. Off stride in 5. Let Her Rumble. Off stride in 6. Went the 4, Wallaby, Wannabe. And 7th and trailing B Kickin'. They're trotting towards 3/4 on top from the inside. Sterling Bridge to the outside, Sizzling Kimberly. 3/4 and 129 and 3/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home. Up top, Sterling Bridge with a lead here to the outside, trotting in second now. That is Sizzling Kimberly, and Sizzling Kimberly has looked the leader in the eye, ready to be sent 3 highest Classic Toy to the top of Power Alley. Less than an 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come in the Hugh Beatty. On top of the field, Sizzling Kimberly to the outside. Classic Toy is coming at her and coming on as they come to the wire. Classic Toy and Sandy Beatty is going to win the Hugh Beatty here this afternoon. Finishing second is the 5, Sizzling Kimberly. Third is the 6, Raphael, with a time of the mile 2 minutes and 4/5. Classic Toy in a first career victory. The second race, the Hugh Beatty final for 2-year-old trotters, timed in 2 minutes and 4/5. A first career victory here for the 2, Classic Toy. A 2-year-old bay filly by Malabar Man out of an Arnie Almerhurst mare, Nina Toy Eaton, owned by the Silver Linden Farms of Woodburn, Indiana, trained by Danny Collins. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver, Hugh Sandy Beatty. In the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation, on behalf of the winners here, of course, the winning driver, Sandy Beatty, the son of the late Hugh Beatty, along with Betty Beatty. And a special salute to that special someone out east serving our country as he's watching live from Dover Downs, Adam Beatty. With a 2, Classic Toy in 2 minutes and 4/5. Her first career victory comes to win the Hugh Beatty final. Stretch, and there they go. Field in motion. Being set on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the outside. There goes Commission right alongside Disney. Pan is driving out from the rail. Not a day goes by. Comes away in 3rd. 4th at the pylons at a CC J-Lo. Next in 5, Momentous Meg. 6th along the inside of that is Sheer Sabra. Followed in 7th by Magpie Hanover. Off stride went the 2, CC J-Lo as they wheel around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. Roman Sweet Mary is now in there in 7th. 8th that is Rockin' D, and 9th and trailing back down pacing. That's the 2, CC J-Lo. The opening quarter came and went in 27 seconds flat. Off stride went the 7, Disney Pan as well. On by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half. Commissioner the K-Man up top here, trying to ration out her speed, dictating the fractions as they enter the clubhouse turn. Into the inside, not a day goes by, is right there, nose to helmet, racing into for Ace Nice Hunger. Along the inside, racing third, that's Momentous Meg, watching over the top 2 from third. Up on the outside, sent first over and 4, that is Magpie Hanover at the rail in 5, Sheer Sabra. They're halfway home, 57 and 3/5. Second over on the outside, racing in 6, Rockin' D. 7, that is Roman Sweet Mary, followed by the 2 breakers here of Disney Pan. CC J-Lo, less than 3/8 of a mile to travel up top. Leading the way, Commission still there on the point, leading it by length and a quarter. Bearing down on the outside, racing in 2, that is Magpie Hanover at the rail in third. Not a day goes by. Fourth, that is Momentous Meg, covered up there by Rockin' D to the outside in 5, 3/4 and 126 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home and Commission. Not an anxious moment thus far, and the K-Man still got the whip over his shoulder. To the outside, Magpie Hanover, and desperately looking for racing room. Not a day goes by. To the top of Power Alley, less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come, and Commission to the inside. Here comes Not a Day Goes By, circling over the super stretch. Not a Day Goes By comes zipping home a winner. Commission to go second. Third was the 3, Momentous Meg. Not a Day Goes By takes the Brad Farrington final in 1:55 and 1. The winners of the third race, the final, the Brad Farrington. Brad Farrington's wife, Pat, daughter, Judy Farrington Ferguson. His son, Larry, with his wife, Deb, along with Dick Farrington and his wife, Dorothy, all here in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation of the Brad Farrington final to the 1, Not a Day Goes By, your official winner of the third race, 1:55 and 1. After a perfect 2-hole trip up the super stretch. The 1, Not a Day Goes By, is a 3-year-old brown filly by Towner's Big Guide of Annihilator mare. Notorious Almahurst, owned by Lehman, Manning, and Miller. They're all of the Buckeye State. Trained by Jim Artledge Jr. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Jeff Ace Niceonger. 1:55 and 1. The 1, Not a Day Goes By, returns $4.20, $3. Second, the 6, Commission, returning $3.40, $2.80. Third of the 3, Momentous Meg, returning $4.20. 1/6 Exacta, $17.20. 1/6 Try, $99 even. Purse $17,500. Remember, no show wagering in the upcoming 4 of the race. Win place, Exacta, Trifecta, early pick 3 wagering. Scratch the 1, Gals Lucky Nooner, sick as indicated in your program. Here's the 1A 5-carat diamond from post position 5, owned by William Rhodes of Ashland, Ohio, trained by Roy Brown with Adam Rucker. With the 2, Anastasia Barron, owned by Joseph Leonard Urban of Mercer, Pennsylvania, trained by Jeff Conger. Jeff Conger drives. The 3, Give 'em the Axe, still in the paddock area for a shoe replacement, owned by Charlie Geiler, Wingfield, Janikis, and McCoy. They're all the Buckeye State, trained and driven by Sandy Beatty. The 4 is Glory Bound, owned by Houghton, Shapiro, and Grodin. They're all of Ohio, trained by D. Houghton with Jeff Fount. In the 5, Striking Ace, owned by the Coran Stables Incorporated of Macedonia, Ohio, trained by Kent Sherman, Greg Grismore, and the Sulky. That's the field for the 4th race. Scratch the 1, Gals Lucky Nooner. The gate swings into the back stretch, and there they go. Field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan trotting in the final, the Heart of Ohio trot, and driving out for the lead. There goes Glory Bound right alongside that is Striking Ace, looking to duck and tuck there for the garden spot trip. Away in third, that is 5-carat diamond. Fourth on the inside, that is Give 'em the Axe. Off stride, racing in 5th there. That is Anastasia Barron, and off stride went the 1A 5-carat diamond as they trot around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. Being led up top by Glory Bound and Fout through the initial quarter here. 28 seconds flat. On by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half, and Glory Bound and foul to the point here, dictating the fractions by 2. Into the inside, Striking Ace is right there in that garden spot, racing in second. Along the inside, Give 'em the Axis, close the gap, trotting in third. Fourth, the distance back here to 5 Carat Diamond. Furthermore, back to Anastasia Barron as they trot around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Up top, Glory Bound to the lead. Striking Ace to the inside, trots in 2. Give 'em the Axis, trotting in third. They're halfway home and 58 and 4/5. Fourth on the inside, 5 Carat Diamond and a ways back. Fifth and trailing Anastasia Barron. Off the turn of their long journey down the backside towards 3/4 begins now. Up top, leading the way, Glory Bound with less than 3/8 of a mile to travel. Striking Ace to the inside is still right there, trotting in 2 and is being angled off the pylons. Going to take a shot at the leader here. And along the inside, Give 'em the Axis, trotting in third. Fourth is 5 Carat Diamond. Fifth and trailing Anastasia Barron. 3/4 and 1:27 and 4/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home, and Glory Bound is rebuffed Striking Ace, but Striking Ace is right back out here as they turn to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come with the Heart of Ohio trot. On top, Glory Bound with the lead here. Striking Ace is trying to come at him and come on, but as they roll within the final 16th, Glory Bound is home a winner here. Striking Ace drifting out a bit to finish second, finishing third of the 3. Give 'em the X, the time of the mile, 1:57 and 1. Glory Bound, gate to wire. In 2004, a 6-year-old brown gelding by Queen's Guard out of a Dream of Glory mare. Embernath, owned by Houghton, Shapiro, and Groden. They're all of the Buckeye State, trained by D. Houghton. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Jeff Fout. The 4, Glory Bound, 1:57 and 1. Gate to wire, returning 380, 240. Second, the 5, Striking Ace, returning 240. The 4-5 Exacta, $5.20. 4-5-3 Try is worth $53.40. Pace at 1 mile, a purse of $15,500 down to a field of 8 with a scratch of the 5 Genuine BB Sick. Here's the field. The 1 is Somebody's Artist, owned by Josephine Campbell of Plain City, Ohio, trained by Mike Campbell with Chip Noble. Number 2 is Julie's Market, owned by Craig Langston of Sydney, Ohio, trained by David Bodenmiller, Jeff Fout, the reinsman. The 3 is Ashland Blue, owned in partnership by the Walls Brothers Stable of Marion, Ohio, and Suda, Darien, Illinois, trained by James Ferguson, Bob Harper. The 4, Sunday Hall, owned by Harold Lee and Harold Botter at Delaware, Ohio, trained by Mike Conklin with Jeff Ace Nysonger. The 5, Genuine BB is out sick. The 6, Eastern Photo, owned by James Dunn in North Lewisburg, Ohio, trained by Joe Paver, Jim Daly. The 7 is Robin Redbest, owned by Ram Racing Stables of Portland, Maine, trained by Mike Campbell, the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 8 is Lady the Dragon, owned by Ron Jackson of Powell, Ohio, trained by Pete Stewart, Kyle Waiter. And the 9 is Andersey and Andersey's of Ohio's You're Welcome, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., Brett Miller, Ian Herselke.
They're all fan pacing and going right out of there for the lead. There goes Ashland Blue getting the first call. Driving up on the outside. Eastern Photo is looking to cross over towards the pylons. Away in third, that is Julie's Market. Inside in fourth, Somebody's Artist. Outside of there in fifth and pressing on Sunday Hall as they travel around the first turn and over to the opening quarter. Along the inside in sixth, that is Robin Redbast. The 2 trailers here are Lady the Dragon and You're Welcome. Backed off the wings of the starting gate, can see them all. They raced by the opening quarter in a spirited 27 3/5 and on by the stands for the first time. Heading down to the half, your punter's choice at 6-5. Eastern Photo and Jim Daly up top here, carving the fractions out, leading it by a length and a quarter. To the inside, Ashland Blue is stalking right there in that garden spot into Julie's Market, racing in third, sent first over the outside in 4. That is Somebody's Artist. Penned at the pylons in 5, Sunday Hall. Traveling around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Up on the outside of there, second over the outside in 6. That is You're Welcome. seventh on the inside, Robin Redbest, and eighth in trailing the field, and third over there, and beginning to close ground, that's Lady the Dragon. They're halfway home, 58 and 2/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside, freshman pacing fillies. Up top, Eastern Photo with less than 3/8 of a mile to travel. Into the inside, Ashland Blue is still right there, nose to helmet racing in two. First over the outside, Somebody's Artist is racing in third. Along the pylons in fourth, Julie's Market swung up 3 wide from fifth. That's Your Welcome. 3/4 and 1:27 and 2. Backside, 29 seconds flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And Eastern Photo has got a recall thus far. Couple tippy taps to the whip. To the inside, Ashland Blue's been there every step, and now she's took Daddy Mother later here as they turn to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Eastern Photo is digging down deep here. Ashland Blue is trying to come at her, and come on as they roll within the final 16th. Eastern Photo wins the final of the Dick Brandt. Finishing second, the 3, Ashland Blue. Third was the 2, Julie's Market. Down to the mile, 1:56 and 4/5. Eastern Photo in a new lifetime mark. Her fourth win in just 7 career starts. The 6, Eastern Photo, is a 2-year-old daughter of Easter Sun Hannah out of a Dragon's Lair mare, Snapshot Beauty, owned by James Dunn in North Louisburg, Ohio, trained by Joe Paver. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Jim Daly. The 6 Eastern Photo takes the final, the Dick Brandt, in 1:56 and 4, a new lifetime mark. Dick Brandt, a trainer, so part of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's organization, one of the top trainers throughout North America for many years. The 6 Eastern Photo takes the final of the Dick Brandt in 1:56 and 4, returning $4.40, $4, $3. Second, the 3, Ashland Blue, returning $8.20, $4.20. Third, the 2, Julie's Market, $4.40. And trot at 1 mile, a purse of $15,800. Exact trifecta wagering, a field of 9, no changes. Number 1 is Backlash Hanover, owned and trained by Brent Davis of Zanesville, Ohio. Greg Grismore at the lines. Number 2 is Pine Hill Jewel, owned by Joyce Slaughter of the big city of Newark, Ohio, trained by Richard Slaughter with Ryan Holton. The 3 is Seaworthy, owned and trained by Titus Schleybaugh of Sugar Creek, Ohio, Aaron Merriman. The 4 is Brummel of New Jersey, Ader and Richards Montgomery of Ohio, Sizzling Man, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader. The 5, Chaperone, owned by Walls Brothers Stable of Ohio and Suda of Illinois. The Strollen Stable as well of Ohio, trained by James Ferguson, Bob Harper. The 6, Saute T, owned by Wellman, Milhone. They're Delaware, Ohio, and Todd of Florida, trained by Terry Milhone, Dallas Miller. Number 7 is Striking Ray, owned by Hall of Famer Robert Sidley of Painesville, Ohio, trained and driven by Marty Woolham. The 8, Rose Corsage, owned by Daryl Sherman, Elmore, Ohio, trained by Kent Sherman, Brett Miller. Into the outside of the 9, Autocrat, owned by the Charter Oak Stable of Aiken, South Carolina, trained by Jimmy Laurent with Chip Noble and the Sulky. That's the field for the 6th race, the final of the Dick Buxton exact. Swings into the back stretch, and there they go for the final of the Dick Buxton trot. Field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan trotting. Break the 4, Sizzling Man. Out from the inside, there goes Pine Hill Jewel driving right alongside there. That is Seaworthy. Up on the outside, 3 deep to join the fray. That is Rose Corsage. Away and forward from the rail there. Backlash Hanover is sliding through to be 3 now. 5th on the inside after the duck and tuck, and 4th by Rose Corsage. 5th there along the inside of the Chaperone. A gap at 2 and 6. Striking Ray followed in 7th there by Saute T. 8th is Autocrat, and 9th and trailing after the early miscue, Sizzling Man. The opening quarter came and went in 28 and 2/5, and driving onto the frontier, that's Seaworthy and Aaron Merriman on the point here. Pine Hill Jewel to the garden spot is racing in 2. On the inside, Backlash Hanover is relegated to sitting in 3rd, sent first over the rim, racing in 4th, Rose Corsage. Flushing that cover, 2nd over the outside in 5th, Chaperone, 3rd over in 6th, Autocrat. 7th along the rails, Striking Ray. 8th, that is Saute T, and 9th and trailing, Sizzling Man. Stepping around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half. Leading up top here, Seaworthy through a half in 59 and 2/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4, and Rose Corsage is wearing down Seaworthy here, and Rose Corsage is onto the front. Seaworthy is right there trotting in 2. Locked in is Pine Hill Jewel now. Outside of there in 4, that is Chaperone, who is gaining ground with every stride. Outside racing in 5th, that is Backlash Hanover. 6th to the outside of there. Autocrat. 7th is Striking Ray. 8th is Saute T, and 9th and trailing Sizzling, Sizzling Man. 3/4 was up and 1:27 3/5. They'll trot the final turn and head for home, and Rose Corsage with the lead here by a widening 4.5, 5 lengths to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to trot, and they're on their way home. Driving through Power Alley. Up top, Rose Corsage with the lead here, and she's out there with it by 4.5, 5 lengths, and she's looking for more as she draws within the final 16th. Pine Hill Jewel goes off stride, but this is Rose Corsage well in hand. Finishing second looked as though the 5, Chaperone, Photo for Show, the top of the mile, 158 flat. Rose Corsage back to winning ways to take the final, the Dick Buxton trot. Dick Buxton for 3-year-olds and up, timed at 158 flat, a purse of $15,800. Here's the 8, Rose Corsage, posting the 6th win in 2004. A 4-year-old bay mare by Striking Sabre out of a Carry the Message mare, Carry the Rose, owned by Daryl Sherman of Elmore, Ohio, trained by Kent Sherman. Nicely handled here this afternoon by the leading dash, winning driver at all in North America on Scioto Downs, leading driver, Brett Miller. Please note, racing fans, that the stewards have removed the inquiry sign. The inquiry sign has been withdrawn. 853 still does remain unofficial, though. With $92.40, while the 853 try is worth $441 even. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on your monitors located throughout the facility is the commemorative Ohio Super Night chat here at Scioto Downs, and the first 2,500 paid admissions on Saturday evening will receive this commemorative hat. Ohio Super Night this coming Saturday, September 11th. First race post time 7:30. Over $1 million in purses. Corval Simmons of the Buckeye State, trained by Brett Ader with Kyle Ader. The 2 is Blue Cam Rock, owned by the Lightning 5 stables, Shoot the Moon stable, and Irving Bork. They're of New York, trained by Brian Brown, Jim Daly. The 3 is Martin Fisher, Millersburg, Ohio's Timely Player, trained by Daryl Hoosier with Adam Rucker. The 4 is Jockey's Tornado, owned by Alice Kidd in Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Perry Lambert, Brett Miller. The 5 is Gryffindor, owned by the Sterling Brook Farms Incorporated of Shelbyville, Massachusetts, trained by Jim Artledge Jr., Dennis Miller. The 6, Good Enough to Dream, owned and trained by Anthony Brigano of Orgonia, Ohio, Chip Noble. The 7, Samson 3, owned by Equine Insurance Center of Liberty, North Carolina, trained by Calvin Buck Holler with Keith Cash Jr. Into the outside of the 8, Camsation, owned by the 3 Horsemen Stables Incorporated in Lexington, Kentucky, trained by Dave Stratton, Bob Harper, Ian the Sulky. Gate swings out of the back stretch, and there they go. Field in motion. Bang, sent on their way in the final, the Curly Smart. From the rail, there goes VC Jester driving out for command from the inside. Blue Cam Rock is showing in 2. Up on the outside, Samson 3 is pressing on there in 3rd. Along the rail, racing in 4th, that is Timely Player, who's angled in there. 5th on the inside, that is Jockey's Tornado. Caught to the outside in 6th is Good Enough to Dream. Along the rail in 7th, Gryffindor, and 8th and trailing the field. That's Camsation as they step around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, being led up top by Samson 3 and Keith Cash Jr. through the opening quarter in 28 3/5. Along the inside, VC Jester is yielded for that pocket trip. Racing in 2. Blue Cam Rock is watching over the top 2 from 3rd. Sent first over the rim, racing in 4th, Timely Player. 2nd over the outside in 5, Jockey's Tornado. 3rd over there, racing in 6th, that is Gryffindor. 4th over in 7th, Camsation, and 8th and trailing shuffle back here, Good Enough to Dream. As they step around the clubhouse turn in front of the paddock and on over to the half, and the Curly Smart final. On top of the field, Samson 3 here at 9-1, leads them through the half in 59 3. A second quarter there at 31 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4 up top. Samson 3 with a lead here by length and a half. To the inside, VC Jester is racing in 2, swung up 3 wide from the back of the pack. Here comes Gryffindor, who's closing with every single stride. Off stride there on a bad break went the leader Samson 3, leaving VC Jester on top. Gryffindor to the outside in 2nd, Blue Cam Rock Rock to the inside in third. 3/4 and 128 and 1/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. VC Jester to the inside. Gryffindor on the outside and now being ready to be swung 3 high for the stretch drive as they turn for home. That's Blue Cam Rock to the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come, and Gryffindor has struck the frontier. VC Jester is trying to battle back gamely at the rail, but at the wire, Gryffindor gets up to win it. VC Jester to go second. It was tight for third. May have been the 8 Cam Station. The time of the mile, 1:57 and 4. Gryffindor in a first career victory takes the final, the Curly Smart. For the 7th race, stepping trackside of the winner's circle, the unofficial winner of the 7th race, the final, the Curly Smart. A purse of $20,500. Home a winner for the first time in his career. Here's the 5, Gryffindor. A two-year-old bay owned by Dragon again out of a Kentucky sperm hare, January sperm, owned by the Sterling Brook Farms Incorporated of Shelbyville, Massachusetts, trained by Jim Artledge Jr. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Dallas Miller. The 5, Gryffindor, first career victory, 1:57 and 4, returning 4:40, 3:80, 360. Second, the 1, VC Jester, 10:40, 5:20. Third to the 8, Cam Sation, 6:40. 5-1 exact, 59.80. 5-1-8 try, $347.20. The track and part of the pose for this afternoon's 8th race, the Jeannie Lever Memorial Trot, the Heart of Ohio. Trot at 1 mile, a purse of $17,500. Exact trifecta wagering. When wagering, wager by head numbers and not post positions, as they do differ. The 1 is Rompaway Stacy from post position 6, owned by the Rompaway Farms Incorporated of Battle Creek, Michigan, trained and driven by Don Harmon. The 1A from post position 9, American Champion, by the Rompaway Farms Incorporated of Battle Creek, Michigan, trained by Don Harmon with Jeff Fount. The 2 from post position 1, Kim's Lass, owned by Charles Zabritsky III of Monison, Pennsylvania, trained by Jack Smith, the Grizz, Greg Grismore. The 3 from post position 2, Sackcloth, owned by Moore, Easterday and Reed at the Wrong of the Buckeye State, trained and driven by Charlie Norris. The 4 from post position 3, Under My Thumb, owned by Richard and Joyce McClellan of Zanesville, Ohio, trained by Dave Rankin, Bob Harper. The 5 from post position 4, Meadowland Miracle, owned by the North Meadows Stable of Painesville, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters with Jamie Dunlap. For the 6 from post position 5, Ben's Janner, owned by the Bennett Farms Incorporated of Michigan, Fremont, Michigan, trained and driven by Todd Buter. The 7 from post position 7, Lisa's Laser, owned in partnership by Dean and Denny Miller of Archbold, Ohio, trained by Jim Mullenix, Jim Daly. And from post position 8, the 8 Calicash, owned by Slaughter Racing Stable of Kentucky, Zollers and Spearman of Ohio, trained by Scott Cox, Brett Miller, Ian Hersalke. Field in motion. They're all fan trotting in a very nice start here, flashing early speed from the middle of the track. Meadowland Miracle was sent on the go there. Right alongside that is Rompaway Stacy. 3 wide to join the fray there. That is Sack Class. As they trot around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, Meadowland Miracle is forging onto the frontier. Sackcloth is coming away in 2. Third, that is Rompaway Stacy. Caught to the outside in 4th. Lisa's Laser is driving on. 5th is Kim's Last. 6th at the pylons, Under My Thumb. Followed in 7th by Ben's Jenner. 8th there is Ocalacash. And 9th and trailing the field, that is American Champion. The opening quarter came and went in 27 and 1/5, and off stride went Lisa's Laser and Sackcloth. Then Charlie Norris is driving this one to the top here with less than 5/8 of a mile to travel. Into the inside, Meadowland Miracle trots in second. Here comes Rompaway Stacy, sent first over the outside, trotting in third, towing into this one. Second over the outside in 4th, that is Kim's Last. At the pylons in 5, Under My Thumb. As they trot by the half, they're halfway home in 57 and 4/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Heads are pointed towards 3/4, Sackcloth up top. Here's Rompaway Stacy on the outside, is looking this leader in the eye now. These two on even terms. Rompaway Stacy pokes ahead in front, is trying to drive on by here. Sackcloth to the inside, trots in 2. Meadowland Miracle at the rail in 3rd. Stall to the outside in 4th. Kim's Last. Bear to the pylons in 5. Under My Thumb, 3/4 and 126 flat. They'll trot the final turn and head for home, and Rompaway Stacy is romping away now by 2.5, 3 lengths as she turns to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and Down the stretch she comes, Rompaway Stacy with the lead here, and opening up and drawing away with every single stride. Rompaway Stacy is going to take the final of the Heart of Ohio Trot. The Jeannie Lever Memorial Trot belongs to Rompaway Stacy. Under my thumb to go second. Finishing third was a 3 sackcloth. The time of the mile, 1:55 flat. Rompaway Stacy. Jeannie Lever Memorial Trot. Jeannie Lever lost her battle with cancer at the age of 40 on March 21st of 2004. She worked with the Danny Collins stable the past 3 years and took care of such outstanding trotters as world champion He's Striking, an Ohio champion as well, and a national seasons leader, a multiple Ohio Sire Stakes winner. He's a Laser, a season leader and a champion in the 4 and 5-year-old Ohio Sire Stakes. Air Touch, a multiple Ohio Sire Stakes winner and national seasons leader. And area horsemen and veterinarians have made a $1,000 donation to the James Cancer Hospital in the memory of Jeannie. Also, the caretaker this afternoon of the winning trotter, Rompaway Stacy, is being awarded a $100 gift certificate from Scioto Outfitters. A trophy and blanket and a win picture is being presented to Jeannie's daughter, Sabrina, down to the winner's circle here this afternoon. The winner of the Jeannie Lever Memorial Trot in a new track record for age trotting mares, the one Rompaway Stacy, 1:55 flat. She holds 2 records here at Scioto Downs, a 4-year-old mare trotting record of 1:54 and 2. That's where her lifetime mark stands, and now she's the aged mare holding the track record here at Scioto Downs. As a 7-year-old brown mare by Envy Worthy, head of an Artie Almerhurst mare, Rompaway Lane, and with the Rompaway Farms Incorporated at Battle Creek, Michigan. Nicely trained and driven to victory by Don Harmon, the one Rompaway Stacy, in a new track record, 1:55 flat, takes the Jeannie Lever Memorial Trot. Well, the horses are stepping onto the track for this afternoon's 9th race. This is the final of the Capital City Pace for mares at 1 mile. A purse of $17,500. Exacta trifecta wagering a field of 7. Here's the field. The one is New Girl in Town, owned in partnership by Timothy Rack and Stephen McIver, both of the Buckeye State, trained by Tim Rack with Chip Noble. Number 2 is Cheshire Kitty, owned by Mondello, Pica, and Robinson. They're all of the Buckeye State, trained by Delvin Criswell with Ron Steck. Number 3 is CC Spice, owned by Chuck Campbell of Blissfield, Michigan, trained by Robert Harmon, Jeff Fout, the driver. The 4, Perfect Lady Kalfas, owned by Mr. John Kalfas of Baldwin, New York, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. with the Grizz, Greg Grismore. Number 5 is Magical Mickey, owned by Glennia, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, Rosario, Kent, Ohio, trained by Scott Cox with Brett Miller. Number 6 is Bibione, owned by Michael Graney and Noel Graney of Ohio and New Mexico, trained and driven by Billy Walters. And for the outside of the 7, Tracy Lou, owned and trained by Harley Dwayne Jolliffe of Richwood, Ohio, Dave Rapine, Ian Hersulke. There they go for the final of the Capital City Pace for mares. Field in motion being sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the outside. There goes Magical Mickey getting the first call here. Driving through in between them, that is CC Spies. From the rail, New Girl in Town is forcing the issue there and coming away in third now. A separation of 4 there. Cheshire Kitty comes away in 4th. 5th, that is Perfect Lady Kalfas. 6th along the pylons, Bibione, and 7th and trailing Tracy Lou. The drums are beating up top. The opening quarter in 26 and 1/5. On by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half. She had to work for it, but Magical Mickey is out there on the front for Brett Miller, leading it by a length and a quarter. Into the inside, CC Spice is right there in that garden spot, nose to helmet in 2. Gap of a length and a half in 3rd. New Girl in Town, followed in 4th by Cheshire Kitty. 5th, that is Perfect Lady Kalfas, followed by the 2 trailers of Bibione and Tracy Lou in straight alignment. Around the clubhouse turn they go, reporting over to the half. They reach the half, 56 and 1/5. A second quarter there at 30 seconds flat. Off the turn and driving down the backside for the girls of the Capital City Pace final. Up top here, Magical Mickey, your 1 to 5 punter's choice, leading it by a length and a quarter with less than 3/8 of a mile to travel. CC Spice is right there, nose to helmet, all over the helmet of Brett Miller in 2. Sent first over the outside in 3rd there. That is Cheshire Kitty at the rail in 4th. New Girl in Town is locked in. Second over in 5, Perfect Lady Kalfas. 3/4 and 125 flat. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Magical Mickey and Brett Miller still sitting comfortably there. And to the outside, racing in two, Cheshire Kitty swung up three wide. Perfect Lady Calphus, and desperately looking for racing room, CC Spice to the top of Heartbreak Lane. Less than an eighth of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Magical Mickey being set down on top. CC Spice is getting no closer. She's done it again. 5 in a row at Scioto Downs. Magical Mickey, CC Spice second. New Girl in Town was third at the time of the mile, 1:53 and 3/5. Magical Mickey. To the winner's circle, the official winner of the 9th race, the Capital City Pace. 4 mares, 4-year-olds and up, timed at 1:53 and 3, a gate-to-wire effort today. Posting the 12th win in just 19 tries this year in 2004. Home winner for the 5th time here at Scioto Downs. Undefeated here at Scioto Downs in 2004, the 5 Magical Mickey. A 5-year-old bay mare by Magical Mike out of an On the Road Again mare. Accolade owned by Glennia, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, and Rosario, Kent, Ohio, trained by Scott Cox. Nicely handled here this afternoon by winning driver Brett Miller. The 5 Magical Mickey, coast to coast in 1:53 and 3, gives driver Brett Miller 2 wins on this afternoon's card, giving him a driving double. Returning 260, 210, 210. 10th race, the final, the William Sargent for Colton Gelding Pacers at 1 mile, a purse of $10,000. Exact trifecta late pick 3 wagering begins here. A field of 8. There are no changes. Number 1 is New Bolton, owned by Michael Smiglio of Lyndhurst, Ohio, trained by Scott Parkinson with Chip Noble. Number 2 is Burton Bobby, owned in partnership by Pauline Bryant and Donald Cockerell, both of the Buckeye State, trained by Donald Cockerell with Bob Harper. The 3 is Delray Rocket, with the Towering Oaks Farm Incorporated of Mentor, Ohio, trained by Scott Cox, Ryan Stahl. The 4, Devonshire Hanover, owned by Kirk Patchell of Charlotte, North Carolina, trained by Gary Green, Jeff Fount. The 5 is Mr. Sox, owned by the All Saints Farm of Marysville, Ohio, trained by Robert Boggs with Brett Miller. The 6 is Patrick, owned by Chuck Campbell of Blissfield, Michigan, trained by Robert Herman, the Grizz, Greg Grismore. Number 7, Daredevil Art, owned in partnership by Wiseman of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Elysis of Ohio, trained by Dan Wiseman, Dean Collins. And for the outside of the 8, Lighthouse Special, owned and trained by Paul Cruz of Miamisburg, Ohio, Jim Daly.
The gate swings into the back stretch, and there they go. Fieldy in motion. Bang, sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and firing away from the inside. There goes New Bolton getting the first call here. Driving up in the middle, Devonshire Hanover is placed on the go there. Away in third, that'll be Burton Bobby. Being angled to the pylons in fourth, that is Mr. Sox. Away in fifth, Delray Rocket. 6th along the inside of there, that is Patrick. Followed in 7th by Daredevil Art. In 8th and trailing the field, Lighthouse Special. Backed off the wings of the starting gate, can see them all. As they step towards the initial quarter, the opening quarter came and went in a lively 26 and 4/5 from the inside. New Bolton with the lead. Devonshire Hanover is now driving onto the top here for Fout. Fountain, Devonshire Hanover on the point. To the inside, New Bolton is right back on the outside here looking for the retake as they enter the clubhouse turn and head on over to the half. New Bolton on the retake with the lead here. Devonshire Hanover to the inside is stalking now in second. Sent first over on the rim in third. He'll have to do it the hard way. Mr. Sox inside in fourth. That is Burton Bobby. Second over the outside, perfectly placed there in fifth. Delray Rocket. They're halfway home. 55 and 2/5 off the turn of their long journey down the backside towards 3/4 begins now. New Bolton out there on the front, leading it by a half. And to the outside, Mr. Sox is racing in two. First over there. Inside now, racing in third. Delray Rocket is working out a perfect trip here. The trip of a lifetime. He sweeps through to the inside. Inside in fourth, Devonshire Hanover could not go with him. 3/4 and 1:23 and 1/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home in the William Sargent final. On top, New Bolton. Will he be able to last to these taxing fractions? To the outside, Mr. Sox still there, still coming to him. To the top of the stretch, less than an eighth of a mile to go. And down the stretch they come. New Bolton has finally given way here to Mr. Sox, but New Bolton is battling back. Delray Rocket up the inside. Mr. Sox gets up to win it. New Bolton to go second. Delray Rocket was third at the time of the mile. 1:52. 4/5. Mr. Sox in a new lifetime mark takes the final, the William Sargent. 4 in just 11 starts this year. New lifetime mark of 1:52 and 4/5. Here's the 5, Mr. Sox, taking the final, the William Sargent. A 3-year-old bay gelding by Firm Belief out of a Die Laughing mare, Charity Lady.
Home of the All Saints Farm of Marysville, Ohio, trained by Robert Boggs. Nicely handled here this afternoon by the Hitman. Scioto Downs leading driver, Brett Miller. That's 3 wins on this afternoon's card for Brett, giving him a driving triple as he steers the 5 Mr. Sox home to a new lifetime mark, 152 and 4/5. Returning 320, 260, 280. Second, the 1 New Bolton, $5, 280. Third of the 3 Delray Rocket, 320. The 5-1 exact to $8 even. Number 1 is Mighty Oaks Ann, owned by David Kurzawa, Pearls Glove, West Virginia, trained by David Kurzawa with Brett Miller. Number 2 is Hollandaise Hanover, owned by Jack Shearer, North Lawrence, Ohio, trained by Mike Metters with Jamie Dunlap. The 3 is Ellen's Beach Babe, owned by Ellen and Mike Havens of Asheville, Ohio. Jim Daly trains and drives. The 4 is Sharp Alma, owned and trained by Jeff Heyman of Findlay, Ohio. The K-Man, Kane Kaufman. The 5 is Arizona Mutanto, owned, trained, and driven by Michael Myers of Groveport, Ohio. The 6 is Early Sam, with the Arn-Little Stable, Washington Courthouse, Ohio, trained by Scott Mogan, Chip Noble. The 7 Furman Burn, owned in partnership by Dan Ader, Clarksburg, Ohio, and Larry Gates of Chillicothe, Ohio, trained by Dan Ader, Kyle Ader, the pilot. The 8 Chris Playboy by Charles and Christine Blankenship of Asheville, Ohio, trained by Jim Pollock Jr., Jeff Fount. The 9 High Got the Jack is scratch sick, and the 10 Ms. Cash and Thee from the 2nd tier is owned by Ruth Wofford of Peoples, Ohio, trained by Jim Arledge, Bob Harper, Ian Hersalke. They're getting set for a start for the first half of the late Daily Double. Field in motion. They're all fan pacing and firing away. Middle of the track, there goes Ellen's Beach Babe getting the first call right alongside Sharp Alma. Right alongside that one, Arizona Mutanto. 4 wide to join the fray. That's Chris Playboy looking to cross over to the pylons. Away in 5th from the rail, that is Mighty Oaks Ann. 6th from the 2nd tier, Ms. Cash and Thee. Angle to the pylons in 7th, Hollandaise Hanover. 8th along the inside, Furman Burn. And 9th and trailing the field as they step over to that opening quarter. That's Early Sam. The opening quarter came and went in a barn burner. 26 3/5 on by the stand for the first time and heading on down to the half, and Chris Playboy and Fout on the point here, trying to ration out his speed, dictating the fractions, way to get by a length and a quarter as they roll under the wire with less than 5/8 of a mile to travel. Ellen's Beach Babe to the inside is 2. Sent first over, stalking in 3rd there, Mighty Oaks Ann. Inside racing in 4th, that is Sharp Alma. 2nd over the outside, perfectly placed there in 5th. That is Ms. Cash and Thee as they race by the half. They're halfway home in 57 seconds flat. 3rd over the outside, racing in 6th. That is Hollandaise Hanover. Off the turn of their long journey, down the backside towards 3/4 begins now. Chris Playboy up top here. And to the outside, Mighty Oaks Ann is applying heavy pressure to the outside in 2. These 2 on even terms now, sparring down the backside. Ellen's Beach Babe is perfectly there placed. She's watching over the dueling leaders from 3rd. Outside in 4th and unable to go on is Ms. Cash and Thee. 3/4 and 125 and 1/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and Chris Playboy is battled back here at 50 to 1. To the outside, Mighty Oaks Ann, and now setting sail. 3 wide to the outside, Ellen's Beach Babe, and out 4 wide, Furman Burn to the top of the stretch. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. Chris Playboy with a lead, a move to the inside. Here's Sharp Alma way out wide. Ellen's Beach Babe is drifting out here. Sharp Alma, Ellen's Beach Babe, those 2 to the wire. Ellen's Beach Babe gets up to win it. Sharp Alma to go 2nd. Chris Playboy was 3rd. Time of the mile, 155 and 3/5. A 3-year-old bay filly by world champion Jenna's Beach Boy out of an Albatross mare. Ellen's Ace, owned by Ellen and Mike Havens of Asheville, Ohio. Nicely trained and driven to victory by winning trainer driver Jim Daly. The 3, Ellen's Beach Babe, in a new lifetime mark, 155 and 3/5. So official, 348 official. The 3 Ellen's Beach Babe returning 34.20, 14.80, 8.40. 2nd, the 4 Sharp Alma returning $9, $7. 3rd, of the 8 Chris Playboy, 25.40. 3 the horses are stepping onto the track for this afternoon's 12th and final race. Fillies and mares claiming pays with allowances here at 1 mile, a purse at $2,200. 2nd half of the late double exactas tries. Superfecta wagering as well, a field of 10. The 10 Power Pinch will score from the 2nd tier. The 1 is Sweet Annie Doc, owned by William Cantrell of Oil Springs, Kentucky, trained by Jeff Brewer with Jeff Ace Nicehonger. Out of the paddock next, the 2, Wow She's Magic. Owned by Clarence, You Can Call Me Sonny DeLong of Orient, Ohio. Trained by Daryl Hoosier with Adam Rucker. The 3 is Casarena, owned by Karen Sievert of Mount Sterling, Ohio. Trained by John Tatum with Kyle Wader. The 4, Charity Bond, owned by Mullen and Morgan of the Bluegrass State. Trained by Glenn Collins, Ryan Goldenhand Stall. Number 5 is Forever and Ever Amen, owned by Lois Stovall, Lebanon, Ohio. Trained by Doug Stovall with Jim Daly. The 6 is George Anthrop of Marshall, Michigan's Noble Julie, trained by George Anthrop with Brett Miller. The 7 is Jetstream Magic, owned by James Wampler of Kettering, Ohio, trained by Joe Essig, Chip Noble. With the 8, Martinsville Girl, owned by Timothy Hawkins of Middletown, Ohio, trained by Bob Longo, the Grizz, Greg Grismore. For the outside of the 9, Whiskey Blue, owned by John Fike in New Albany, Ohio, trained and driven by the K-Man, Kane Kaufman. And for the second tier, number 10, Power Pinch, owned in partnership by Rosemary Enders and Bob Harper, both of the Buckeye State, trained and driven by Bob Harper and Hersolke.
Getting set for a start for the Superfecta finale. Field in motion. Being sent on their way. They're all fan pacing and driving away in the middle of the track. There goes Forever and Ever Amen from the rail. There's Sweet Annie Doc driving up 3 wide to join the fray. That's Jetstream Magic. Out 4 wide. Martinsville Girl is now being angled to the pylons there. Away in 5th from the second tier. That is Power Pinch. 6th on the inside, Casarena. Followed to the outside in 7th. Noble Julia's driving up. 8th on the inside, Wow She's Magic. And 9th in there, that is Whiskey Blue. And 10th and trailing the field as they step by the opening quarter is the 4 Charity Bond. The opening quarter came and went at a snappy 27 1/5. On by the stands for the first time and heading on down to the half, being dictated up top by Sweet Annie Doc and Jeff Ace Nicehonger on the point tier, leading it by a length and a quarter. To the inside, Forever and Ever Amen is right there, nose to helmet in 2, poised along the rim in 3rd. Jetstream Magic sent first over the rim, racing in 4th, Noble Julie as they step in front of the paddock and race on over to the half. Then along the inside, racing in 5th, that is Whiskey Blue. They're halfway home, 56 4/5. A second quarter at 29 3. Off the turn and driving down the backside. Fillies and Mares' heads are pointed towards 3/4 in the finale. Up top, Sweet Annie at Doc leads the way here. To the outside, Noble Julie is at the leader's wheel disc in 2. Along the inside in 3rd, Forever and Ever Amen. Outside, second on the outside in 4th there. That is Power Pinch. Pendant at the pylons for that is Jetstream Magic. 3rd over the outside in 6th, Martinsville Girl. 3/4 and 1/25 2/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home. And on top, Sweet Annie Doc to the inside. To the outside there, Noble Julie still there, still coming to her as they turn to the top of Power Alley. Less than an eighth of a mile to pace, and they're on their way home, driving through the lane. On top, Sweet Annie Doc with a lead. And to the outside, Noble Julie up the inside. Here's Forever and Ever Amen as they come to the wire. We're down to these 2. Sweet Annie Doc to the inside. Forever and Ever Amen. Those 2 to the wire, very tight there. Input them, can't split them. Photo for a win. 155 champion
and
stand
3
forever out of an albatross mare. Adelaide Hanover, owned by Lois Stovall, Lebanon, Ohio, trained by Doug Stovall. Nicely handled here this afternoon by Jim Daly. That's 3 wins on this afternoon's card for Jim, giving him a driving triple. The 5, Forever and Ever Amen, is now your official winner, returning $760, $540, $440. Second was the 1, Sweet Annie Doc, returning $1140, $6. Third of the 6, Noble Julie, $380. Fourth is 7, Jetstream Magic, 5-1 exact, $81.60. The late double, Jim Daly, late double, 3-5, $292.20. The late pick 3, 3 of 3, 535, $647.20. 5-1 exact, $81.60. 5-1 6 try, $512.40. Afternoon at Scioto Downs. We'll swing back into action on Wednesday, September the 8th with a first race post time of 7:30.